Let me take you down, 'cause I'm going to Strawberry Field.
Welcome to WatchMojoUK, and today we're counting down our picks for those songs from the British Psychedelia era that serve as excellent entry points for those seeking to explore this rich and fruitful musical era. Number 10, Armenia City in the Sky, The Who.
If you're troubled and you can't relax, close your eyes, think on this.
The legacy of The Who was still being forged when their third album, The Who Sell Out, was released in 1967. The album predates their massively successful rock opera Tommy, yet songs like Armenia City in the Sky present a version of The Who that's already willing to experiment with some wild sounds. This song features all sorts of phasing effects on Pete Townshend's guitar, as well as studio sounds that make Armenia City in the Sky sound like the soundtrack to a futuristic movie. Indeed, the tune is something of a deep cut for those not readily familiar with The Who's catalogue, while also serving as an example of how the band held their fingers upon the pulse of a psychedelic movement.
And everyone is upside down.
Number 9, Talking About the Good Times, The Pretty Things.
Talking about the good times.
The era of the concept album was still fairly new and novel when Kent's The Pretty Things tried their hand at the idea with 1968's SF Sorrow. The album would go on to become a cult classic from the British psychedelic movement, but we'd argue that this single, released from the same year, does an even better job at defining UK psych.
She has sun in her eyes, the clouds cross the sun, without the sun, as evening shares in her eyes.
It contains so many of the hallmarks that would become standard within the genre, from hazy mellotron and rock-out fuzz effects to hard-hitting drumming and dreamy harmonised vocals. There's an aura of menace behind Talking About the Good Times, in spite of the song's title, while the execution here is as good as anything The Pretty Things ever released, full stop.
Good times, talking about the good.
Number 8, Fire, The Crazy World of Arthur Brown.
I am the god of hellfire, and I bring you fire.
One need only to gaze upon the madness that was the crazy world of Arthur Brown in order to easily understand the roots of showmanship and shock rock.
Fire to destroy all you've done. Fire to end all you've become.
This Yorkshire-born performer donned frightening paint and employed a group of unsavoury hooded fellows to back this ode to destructive flame back in 1968. The end results of Fire were combustible, to say the least, and instantly launched the crazy world of Arthur Brown into the Psychedelic Rock Hall of Fame.
You've been living like a little girl in the middle of your little world.
The album, on a whole, is great too, but it's Fire that will forever be Arthur Brown's musical calling card. A perfect storm of art, visuals, and explosive psych rock power that was impossible to deny. Number 7, Wear Your Love Like Heaven, Donovan.
Scarlet fleece changes hue, crimson ball sinks from view.
There were a number of Donovan tracks that we felt were worthy of inclusion on this list, ranging from Sunshine Superman to Mellow Yellow. That said, Scotland's finest psychedelic troubadour seemed to hit the nail firmly on the head with 1967's Wear Your Love Like Heaven.
Wear your love like heaven. Wear your love like heaven.
The song captures a psychedelic sentiment that's pastorally British, yet also possesses an approachability that also makes the song feel like it could have been born anywhere in the world. Donovan's folk-inspired style would go on to help influence many other groups on the lighter side of psych, while the man's voice floats above the tune like the warmest and sweetest summer breeze.
Lord, kiss me once more, fill me with song. La la, kiss me once more, that I may.
Number 6. Nights in White Satin, the Moody Blues.
Nights in white satin, never reaching the end.
The Days of Future Past album from 1967 was another early example of the concept album, this time by Birmingham's The Moody Blues. Nights in White Satin was the standout single from this record, a defining tune for the group that straddles a creative line between heady psychedelia and proto-progressive sounds. The combination of orchestral accompaniment for the Moody Blues rock sound was a novel idea back in '67, and it works wonderfully on this album.
Just what you want to be, you'll be in the end.
Nights in White Satin is a song that makes the most of its cavernous production style, Jason Hayward's evocative vocals, and a flute solo to end all flute solos. This is symphonic and psychedelic rock at its very best.
'Cause I love you.
Number 5. A Whiter Shade of Pale, Procol Harum.
We skip a light fandango, turn cartwheels across the floor.
One of the wonderful things about psychedelic music is how many myriad forms it may take, from baroque orchestral pop to hard-hitting proto-metal. Essex's Procol Harum utilised their influences from classical music, specifically Johann Sebastian Bach, to compose this tune, one that defined their career.
That her face at first just ghostly, turn the wider shade of pale.
A Whiter Shade of Pale is notable for its use of Hammond organ, while the bass and drums anchor a steady mid-paced groove. This is a song that exemplified the Woodstock generation in America, while also existing as one of Britain's most influential psychedelic exports.
That her face at first just ghostly, turn the wider shade of pale.
Number 4. Time of the Season, The Zombies.
It's the time of the season when love runs high.
Odyssey and Oracle is one of those timeless psychedelic rock albums, an effort that should be amongst the first any newcomer to the genre should pick up at a shop or online. Within this record lies Time of the Season, an all-time classic song from St. Albans' favourite sons, The Zombies. It's a sexy-sounding song, one that accurately scores the free love sentiment that flowed within the psychedelic era.
What's your name? What's your name? Who's your daddy? Who's your daddy? Is he rich like me?
Time of the Season is also a showcase for songwriter Rod Argent, whose keyboard skills are nicely displayed with both a solo section and nice punctuated melodic stabs. Oh, and there's those iconic snaps, clicks, O's and R's that help turn Time of the Season into a forever anthem for the psych generation.
It's the time of the season for love.
Number 3. 2,000 Light Years from Home, The Rolling Stones.
Turning round with graceful motion.
They may be a classic rock institution now, but that doesn't mean that the Rolling Stones didn't do their fair share of psychedelic experimentation. 2,000 Light Years from Home is taken from the Brian Jones era of the band, specifically their 1967's Their Satanic Majesty's Request LP. The song's creepy, howling intro is an early sign that we're deep within heady territory here, while Jones's performance on the Mellotron lends 2,000 Light Years from Home a sinister ambience. The song grooves and rocks the way all Stone songs groove and rock, of course, but this is definitely an example of change in the air, and a band taking their proverbial hit.
Your 2,000 light years
Number 2. See Emily Play, Pink Floyd as the Pink Floyd. 1967 seems to have been a magical year when it comes to psychedelic rock.
She's often inclined to borrow somebody's dreams till tomorrow.
Many formative examples of the genre were released around this time, including See Emily Play by the Pink Floyd. The group's expansive and progressive sound was still a twinkle in their collective eye at this point, as See Emily Play is firmly entrenched within fuzz-laden and groovy psychedelia.
You'll lose your mind and play free games to play. See Emily play.
The influence of Floyd founder Syd Barrett is particularly strong here, and the song is an excellent mixture of melodic vocals, heavy guitar, and energetic drumming. Sure, Pink Floyd would largely slow down in the years following See Emily Play, but this song remains one of the band's all-time best.
There is no other day. Let's try it another way. You'll lose your mind and play.
We publish new content every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos.
Number 1. Strawberry Fields Forever, The Beatles.
Let me take you down, 'cause I'm going to Strawberry Fields.
There's that magic year again, 1967. The Beatles released 2 defining psychedelic tracks that year, including A Day in the Life and our number 1 pick, Strawberry Fields Forever.
Nothing to get hung about. Strawberry Fields Forever.
There's a lot of studio work that went into making this song one of the group's weirdest and wildest. There's tape manipulation, Indian instrumentation, evocative mellotron, and a structure that varies wildly in both tone and tempo.
Always know, sometimes think it's me, but you know I know when it's a dream.
The song's construction could honestly take up a list of its very own, so forward-thinking and complex was Strawberry Fields Forever. That said, it's enough to simply say that this song not only helped the Beatles become legends, but also assisted psychedelia into floating down, on into the mainstream.
Strawberry Fields Forever. Strawberry Fields Forever.
Do you remember the 60s? Or were you born too late, in the wrong decade? Let us know in the comments.